Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest, and today I am checking out from Charlotte, Tilbury. The Beautiful Skin Foundation retails for $44 for 1 fluid ounce or 30 mils of product. They say this is a 16-hour natural glow foundation with buildable medium coverage to hydrate, smooth, blur pores, and brighten skin. They've got hyaluronic acid in here, rose complex to reduce visible signs of fatigue, Bix Active visibly reduces shine and blurs the look of pores. No parabens, no formaldehydes, no formaldehyde releasing agents, no phthalates, no mineral. Whoa, there's a lot of stuff that's not in here. That is awesome. It's vegan, it's cruelty free, and has less than 1% of synthetic fragrance. There's some weird percentages on the box, like WTF. Skin looks more radiant by up to 285%. Okay, that's just there for the purpose of putting a stupidly large looking number on the box. But anyway, this comes in, oh, how many shades? Most of them are currently sold out on Sephora. I forgot to count. 4, 8, 30 different shades. I've got this in, I went one shade darker than I normally do. I wear too fair in most of the things Charlotte Tilbury. And so I went 3 neutral on this one. Too fair looked like it might be a little too pink for me. I like a slight pink cool undertone, but I'm kind of neutral and I can go either way, slightly warm, slightly cool, and it still works. I prefer slightly cool, but it looked a little too pink, so I went 3 fair. 3 neutral. 3 neutral. That's what I got. Let's check out this one swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from Charlotte Tilbury, the Beautiful Skin Foundation in shade 3 Neutral. Second is Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up, I've got MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. Fourth is Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator in shade Fair. And last, I've got from Misha the Perfect Cover BB Cream in 21. I have already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 47-year-old face. I have primed with the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer. I will go in on one side with a dampened sponge. This is one of those Juno microfiber sponges, and they don't hold their shape very well. Just saying. Damp sponge on one side, e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush on the other. We will see if there is a preference one way or the other. Let's start with the sponge. Ooh, this has a lot of coverage right away. Probably did not need as much product as I've got going on. I'm not noticing any obvious scent at all to it, which I like. I know there is some fragrance in here, but it seems to be not much, and it is not coming across. I don't have a sensitive nose, but it does not seem obvious or overpowering at all to me. I really can't smell anything. I don't smell anything, so I would say if you're sensitive to fragrance, it does not smell strongly. That's some nice coverage straight away with the sponge. I'm glad I went with this neutral. I think this shade is going to work out well. Let's try the brush side. Maybe I will use just a little bit less. This is really easy to blend. I'm not having any issues. I like when I don't have to pay too close of attention to my blending process, where I can just kind of like run and gun and not worry that it's gonna look blotchy or, you know, I just like easy. Alright, let's get a look at this. I like the finish either way, sponge or brush. I think they both look very similar. I think coverage is also pretty similar between the two. I'm going to stick with the brush just because my sponge is kind of wonky. I still have a bunch of product left, so I'm just going to try and build up. They said it's buildable. I'm going to try and build a little coverage on my sunspots here, And my little blue blood vessel and my red chin. And get a little more on the forehead. And let's see how this builds. Oh yeah, coverage builds. Can it conquer my blue blood vessel? Just about nothing can conquer the blue blood vessel. That's pretty good though. That's pretty good though. That's pretty good. Lots of foundations can conquer my sunspots, but that blue blood vessel, not bad, not bad. Just a little bit poking through, so I think the description of it being medium coverage is pretty well accurate. Let's make sure we got the schnoz all covered. All right. Let's take a look. Let's zoom in and get a good look at this one. This seems like, did they call it a matte finish? It looks kind of like satin matte to me. It's got, you know, enough reflect that it doesn't look flat, but it does kind of come across as a matte finish. I think it is looking nice and blurred on pores and on texture. It does not seem to be doing anything strange on my nose. Everything looks smooth. It looks smooth on my forehead. It's not accentuating any lines. It's not making any wrinkles look obvious. It just kind of nicely balanced everything out and gave me kind of a smoother canvas to work with than nature has provided. We will see. I do think maybe it's just the way I'm looking into this mirror. We'll see. I feel like my smile lines are a little bit obvious, but it's too early to tell. We need to get the rest of this face on here. We'll get a look. If you see here, I did not use all of the product I pumped out, so a little bit of this does go a pretty doggone long way. I'm a fan of that. Let's check the time. It is 3:34. Probably going to call it 3:30 for memory's sake. Let me put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. I really like this look, this foundation look. I don't know how to put my finger on it. It's not exactly matte. It's like a satin matte. I really like the finish. I like that I would call this a good medium coverage. You know I'm a medium coverage kind of girl, and I just really like it. I'm digging it. I'm digging it so far. I have nothing settling into lines, nothing's doing anything weird, nothing sinking into pores, nothing strange is happening. Did not have to set it with powder, and I blended everything just fine on top, so that's what I like. You know me, one step, run and done. On the rest of my face, figured I might as well pull out the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Matte Bronzer in shade 2. I have Clarins Jolie Blush in Cheeky Baby, Natasha Denona Super Glow in the lightest shade. My eyes, I found Sherlock, by the way. I might need him in a minute. My eyes are the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette. Did you guys hear that in 2020, rumor has it that the trends will be going back into having like a super dark lined lip, like the dark browns? I will be in my heyday 90s makeup. Oh yes. I will be loving it if that happens. I didn't quite go that route today. I was close though. Lip liner is one of the new ones from e.l.f. This is the Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner. I didn't fill my lips in. I just lined them a little bit in mauve, and also new from e.l.f. the Lip Stain Sherlock. This is Pinkies Up. It is their new lip stain, and we'll see. It's supposed to be glossy lip stain, long lasting color kind of a thing. We'll see how that goes. I have a couple shades of the liner, the lip liner as well. I like it. It's kind of a triangle tip to it, which is a bit different in a lip liner, and I found it to be easier to shape than a typical pencil, so bravo there. That's my lip. My mascara is the Flower Warrior, Lash Warrior. What else? I was gonna tell yous my, liquid liner. A little bit of e.l.f. This is their pitch black liquid liner. So that is what's going on. I'm kind of feeling the 90s thing, hoping that that rumor is true. We will see. I'm going to go about my day. I will have to get outside pretty soon because it's 4:10 right now. What time is sunset now? It's after 6 now, right? Days are getting longer. And this week, in this area of Virginia at least, this week is like the turning point where the average daily temperature goes from getting colder every day to starting to get warmer every day. It really ends up being like a degree every 4 or 5 days, but I'm done with winter. I'm so over it. So over it. So I'll probably go outside because it looks like the sun is setting, but maybe it's not. It's still super early. I'll get out there within the next hour or so. We'll get a daylight check-in, and then I will come back tonight, give you guys my final thoughts. Well, daylight is not after 6 p.m. sunset. It's like 5:45, and I'm in the garage working on some soap, and I looked up, and I'm like, oh, where'd the sun go? Yeah, so there's not a lot of daylight left. Maybe I'll use garage light. I think the color match is pretty good. It does seem pretty good. Seems to be holding up well. I did blow my nose. It's like impossible to get through a winter foundation review without blowing my nose. But I think we're holding up okay. For now, yeah, I'm looking toward the sunset. There's not much left. I'll be back in a bit and we'll wrap this one up. 11:56 p.m. That means we are approaching the 8.5-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation held up. I think it has held up very well. I don't feel like I've lost coverage. I think it's a little bit more radiant than it was when it started. I called it satin matte to begin with, and I'd say we're approaching that, mildly dewy kind of a look. And I like this look, so this works well for my preferences. Let's do one thing real quick. I want to pull up the claims on the box, because the only thing I noticed about this, and I noticed it when I applied it, was that my smile lines still looked more noticeable than I like. I like something that kind of fills them in or smooths them out a bit, and this just didn't change them at all. So I went on the box to see what they say about lines, and actually they say nothing really specific. The main specific claims they're making: minimizes the appearance of pores, which I think it does, and that has held true all day. Reduces the appearance of pigmentation and dark spots. Yes, coverage is very nice for that. Skin appears instantly brighter. It does say that it boosts hydration. I'm gonna say yes, I agree. My skin does not feel dry or dehydrated in any way, shape, or form. It says skin looks plumper and smoother by up to all these 181%, whatever. Just stop with these numbers. But yes, I do think texture looks smooth. Everything looks nice and smooth. I wish it plumped out my smile lines a little bit better. That's probably the only real complaint I have, and I don't even know if you can call that a complaint. Let's zoom in and get a good look at this one. Around my mouth, any coverage that I've lost, it's just kind of gone. And considering I did blow my nose, at least half a dozen times today, looks pretty good. Like, it really isn't super noticeable. You can tell a little product is missing. I will say that it settled a tiny bit into my deepest chin lines. It hasn't really caked up or settled anyplace else. I did use this under my eyes, and it did not settle into the lines under my eyes. It didn't look crepey. Nothing's clinging to the texture between my eyebrows. Nothing's settled into my little crow's feet movement lines that I've got. Nothing settled into my forehead lines. Nothing's accentuating my micro wrinkles, which is what tells me that the hydration levels are pretty good, because that's one of the early signs of dehydration in my skin, is when my micro wrinkles start showing up, especially on my forehead. So I think the hydration levels are really good with this one, as they claim, with some ridiculous percentage. They really need to get off those numbers. That's just silliness. If I had to give a grade to the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin, I really like this. You know I like my medium coverage. I really like the finish. I love the hydration. We are in the dead of winter and I am dry right now. That's good stuff. I think I have to give this an A. I think it's a solid A. I very much enjoy how this looks, how it performed. Do I remember them saying something about 16 hours? I don't know about that. Pretty much nothing that claims those kinds of timelines ever seems to hold up that way. Because figure, let's call it 9 hours. Let's be generous and say this is like a 9-hour face. It's not done yet. We're not at, toast level. But I would say, it's got maybe a couple hours left in it. It might be 12-hour wear. It's really good wear. Let's give, okay, I'll give it to them. It's a really good wear. It's really good. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. This one is probably my favorite Charlotte Tilbury. I have good luck with Charlotte Tilbury complexion products, but nothing has ever really, wowed me, like knocked me off my feet, kind of. And this is pretty good. This one's up there. This one's a nice one. I can see myself wearing this a lot because I am, you know me, I love the medium coverage. I know. You don't need it. Your skin. I want to hide the things. I don't want to see my freckles. I don't want to see my face turn red. Medium coverage. Thank you very much. Yep, we're going to go with an A. That's my take on this one. That wraps up another episode of Foundation Fest. If you enjoy foundation reviews, if you like them and want to see more, give me a thumbs up down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos twice a week. Let me know in the comments what foundations you would like to see next. I heard there's a new NARS. I'm going to have to get my hands on that puppy because I don't have it. I did just pick up, I don't think it's a brand new release, but it's one of the newer ones from Bobbi Brown. So that one will be coming soon. Let me know what you guys want to see. I buy them whenever I can get my grubby paws on them. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.